What's up, guys? My name is Errol Ozdalga. I'm an internal medicine doctor, and I'm going to talk to you about two characters, Superman and his arch nemesis, Doomsday. So I'm going to first talk about Superman. So like I said, I'm an internal medicine doc, and what really gets me excited is to think about how some of these properties, these superpowers, are possible. And I think some of them actually could be in real life. For example, let's talk about Superman. One of the things Superman is known to have is amazing vision. There's lots of things he can do with his vision. Let's talk about one of them. For example, he can see really far away, really high acuity. How is he able to do that? Is this possible? Let's first diagram the eyeball, if you will. I'm going to write the cornea here, and I'm going to put the whole eyeball here. So this is a side profile. So what would happen is we see something far away, and the light of it comes in through our cornea. It passes through this little area called the lens, and it shoots back to the area in the back of our retina. There's a specialized area here called the macula. In the macula, we have a high proportion of cells called cones. What do cones do? They simply take light and they turn it into electrical signals for our brain to process an image. Another thing about the eye is people who are nearsighted, the actual light will come in and focus somewhere in front of the retina. That's what causes nearsightedness, not being able to see far away. One of the things that happens with us is the eyeball gets longer. So instead of being the super round shape, it becomes longer like this. And the focusing happens much more further up. What if Superman had an ability to contract or extend his eyeball to allow the focusing to happen wherever he wants? For example, if he's able to bring his eyeball lower like this, the focusing would be better for far away. And if he needs to see something really close up, then he can extend his eyeball backwards. So we have number one, he probably has way more cones in the back of his eye, those cells that take the job of turning light into brain signals that we can interpret vision. Number two, he probably has the ability to change the shape of his eyeball to optimize the ability for him to really focus things far away and also really close up when needed, like a microscope. Another character with a lot of amazing superpowers is Doomsday. And he's going to need them because his arch nemesis is Superman. One of the unique powers of Doomsday is his protective covering, or his shell, much like a giant tortoise. The way the shell of the giant tortoise works is it's covered, or it's filled with tons of keratin. Keratin is this really important molecule that we have all over our skin. In fact, right now I'm touching lots of keratin on the top of my skin. There's keratin here, and there's also keratin in my nails. In fact, the more keratin there is, the harder a structure becomes. So you can see how the more keratin in the fingernails allows it to be stronger. And so when you add even more keratin to structure, you get even stronger structures like you have in the shell of the giant tortoise. However, the giant tortoise is not necessarily the strongest protective covering we know on Earth. That actually belongs to the ironclad beetle, a tiny little bug that has a shell so strong that if a 200-pound man were to step on that ironclad beetle, the beetle wouldn't be crushed. That's an amazing property. And it has that property because of a chemical called chitin. Chitin, very similar to like keratin, is this property that allows a shell to be super, super strong. And we also know Doomsday has that in his shell as well. So Doomsday has both chitin and keratin working together to create this super astronomically tough shell to protect him against other superheroes. So those are just a few examples of how these superhero powers are possible. You can read more in DC Comics' Anatomy of a Metahuman, available now.